What if I told you that most people do not lose their wealth in retirement because of a crash, a bad investment, or some dramatic financial mistake, but because of quiet, almost invisible decisions they make after the age of 50? Decisions that feel safe, responsible, even smart at the time. And yet, over the next 10 to 20 years, those very decisions slowly drain everything they worked their entire life to build. This is not about fear. This is about awareness. Because once you cross 50, the rules of money change. What worked in your 30s and 40s can quietly start working against you. And the most dangerous part is, you usually do not realize it until it is too late. Let me explain. There is a moment in life when people feel they have done enough. They have saved, invested, raised a family, built stability. And naturally, the mindset shifts from growth to protection. But here is where the first silent mistake begins. People become overly conservative too early. It feels logical. You start moving money out of growth assets and into safer options. Less volatility, more stability. You tell yourself you are protecting what you have, but what you are really doing is exposing yourself to a different kind of risk, the risk of outliving your money. Because retirement today is not 10 years. It can easily stretch 20, 30, even 40 years. And if your money is not growing fast enough to keep up with inflation, healthcare costs, and lifestyle needs, it slowly loses its power. At first, everything looks fine. Your account balance is steady. There are no major losses. But behind the scenes, inflation is eating away at your future, quietly, consistently. And one day, you realize that the same amount of money that once felt comfortable now feels tight. This is not a sudden collapse. It is a slow erosion. And that is what makes it dangerous. Now, here is something even more surprising. Many people after 50 believe that eliminating risk completely is the safest path. But in reality, eliminating all risk is itself a risk. Because without growth, there is no protection against time. And time is the one thing you cannot negotiate with. Now think about this for a second. What is more dangerous? Losing 10% in a bad year, or losing purchasing power every single year for the next 20 years? This is where most people miscalculate. They focus on avoiding short-term losses and ignore long-term decline. And that brings us to another silent mistake. Underestimating healthcare costs. It is one of those things people know about, but rarely prepare for properly. At 50, you might feel healthy, strong, independent. But healthcare is not just about today. It is about what happens in your 60s, 70s, and beyond. Medical costs are not just expensive. They are unpredictable. A single unexpected event can wipe out years of savings. And what makes it worse is that many people assume insurance will cover everything. It will not. There are gaps, limitations, out-of-pocket expenses that slowly add up. And then there is long-term care, something most people avoid thinking about, because it is uncomfortable. But ignoring it does not make it go away. It only makes it more expensive later. And here is the harsh truth. The earlier you plan for it, the less it costs. The longer you ignore it, the more it drains. Now let me ask you something. Have you ever noticed how people spend decades building wealth, but almost no time planning how to use it? That is another mistake. A big one. After 50, the focus should not just be on accumulation. It should be on strategy. How you withdraw money matters just as much as how you invest it. Because a poor withdrawal strategy can destroy a perfectly good portfolio. Taking too much too early triggers taxes, reduces compounding, and leaves less for later years. Taking too little can lead to unnecessary stress and an unnecessarily restricted lifestyle. It is a delicate balance, and most people do not get guidance on this. They simply guess. And guessing with your life savings is not a strategy. Now, here is something that most people will not admit. Lifestyle inflation does not stop after retirement. In fact, it often gets worse. You finally have time, freedom, no job constraints, and naturally, you want to enjoy life, travel more, spend more, experience more. And there is nothing wrong with that. But without a clear plan, spending can quietly spiral. Small upgrades become habits, habits become expectations, and before you know it, your expenses are higher than you ever planned. And unlike your working years, there is no paycheck to adjust. Every extra expense comes directly from your savings. This is where many people start dipping into their principal without even realizing it. At first, it feels harmless, but over time, it compounds in the wrong direction, and suddenly, the margin for error disappears. Now, here is where things get even more subtle. Many people after 50 stop learning about money. They believe they have already figured it out. They stick to what they know, what worked before. But the financial world is constantly changing. New opportunities, new risks, new systems, and staying outdated can be just as harmful as making a bad decision, because the world does not stand still. And if you do not adapt, you slowly fall behind. This does not mean chasing trends. It means staying informed, understanding where the world is heading, and adjusting accordingly. Now let me bring your attention to something most people overlook completely. Taxes. Not earning money is one thing, but losing money to unnecessary taxes is another. After 50, tax efficiency becomes critical, because every dollar you lose in taxes is a dollar that could have supported your future. And yet most people do not optimize this. They withdraw from the wrong accounts at the wrong time. They trigger higher tax brackets. They miss opportunities to reduce their liabilities. And all of this happens quietly. There is no warning, no alert, just less money year after year. Now pause for a moment. Imagine working for 30 or 40 years, only to lose a significant portion of your wealth, not to markets, but to avoidable taxes. That is not just unfortunate. That is preventable. And yet, it happens all the time. Now, here is something that might surprise you. One of the biggest retirement mistakes has nothing to do with money at all. It is isolation. After 50, social circles change, work relationships fade, daily interactions decrease, and slowly, people become more isolated. Why does this matter for wealth? Because isolation affects decision-making. It increases emotional decisions, fear-based choices, impulsive reactions during market volatility. And without a strong support system, people are more likely to make mistakes they would not have made otherwise. Money is not just numbers, it is psychology, and psychology changes when you are alone. Now let me ask you something honestly. When was the last time you reviewed your entire financial plan? Not just your investments, but everything. Your income strategy, expenses, taxes, healthcare planning. If it has been more than a year, you are already behind. Because after 50, things change faster than you think. And ignoring that is a mistake in itself. Here is another quiet danger. Helping others at the cost of your own future. It sounds noble. Helping children, supporting family, giving generously. And there is nothing wrong with that. But many people overextend themselves. They prioritize others and neglect their own security. And the reality is simple. If you compromise your own financial stability, you may become dependent later, and that helps no one. Balance is key. Support without sacrifice. Give without risking your future. Because once your income stops, rebuilding becomes extremely difficult. Now here is where everything comes together. Retirement is not just a phase. It is a transition, from earning to relying, from growth to preservation, but with strategy, from activity to intention. And the biggest mistake people make is treating it casually. They assume things will work out, that their savings will be enough, that their habits will not change. But assumptions are dangerous, especially when there is no second chance. Now imagine this. Two people retire at the same age, same savings, same income, same lifestyle. 10 years later, one is financially secure, the other is struggling. What made the difference? Not luck, not income, decisions. Small, consistent decisions made over time, avoiding these silent mistakes, staying aware, staying intentional. That is what creates the gap. And here is the good news. Every single one of these mistakes can be avoided, not by doing something extreme, but by being conscious, by asking the right questions, by adjusting before it is too late. You do not need perfect timing. You need awareness. You do not need complex strategies. You need clarity. And most importantly, you need to stop thinking that retirement planning ends at retirement, because that is exactly when it begins. If this made you think differently about your future, then do not keep it to yourself. Share it with someone who needs to hear this. And if you want to build real, lasting wealth even after 50, then subscribe to The Wealth After 50, like this video, and share it with others who are planning their future seriously. Because the truth is simple. The biggest threats to your wealth are not loud. They are quiet. And now, you know where to look.